Hello everyone, welcome to From the Star Wars Home Video Library. I'm your host, Nick P. Butler, author of A Saga on Home Video, a fan's guide to U.S. Star Wars home video releases, which you can find on Amazon right now. I'm coming to you in chagrin a little bit, because here we have a 6th episode about Spaceballs. I had originally intended for this to only be 5 episodes. I thought 5 was excessive, but just that there's a lot to cover, and 5 was about the minimum to actually pull that off. And we did! And then I ran into a couple of things that I went and repurchased, basically, to have a better copy of, or an earlier copy of, so that I could then show you this on the show and put it into my collection, which has necessitated this. This is episode 129.1, the supplemental episode that follows episode 129, which was the one that was basically about the 2015 Spaceballs Blu-rays. And we're going to look at one of those here in this episode. But I should note, as we start, though, that this also picks up on an item from back in episode number 126. Let's take into account that basically we're looking at 2, but that this really doesn't merit being 7 episodes, does it? Now watch, I'll say that and they'll put out another home video release like this year for the 30th anniversary out of nowhere, and poof! We'll have to do another episode. So, to start out with, back in episode number 126 when we were looking at the early DVDs, I pointed out that the second DVD they ever released was this. This is Spaceballs, the Collector's Edition. We looked at all the specifics about it, the key thing being that this is a 2-disc set. It has tons of bonus features, almost all of which eventually wound up making it to Blu-ray. The first disc is the film. It is the only time there's been a film version, or excuse me, a DVD version of the film that was actually anamorphic widescreen, so you could see the whole thing without having to zoom in on your TV or anything, and you had your bonus features. Now, I mentioned that this is anamorphic widescreen, and that's a big deal. And I've had some people comment saying, wait a second, I've got one of the Spaceballs DVDs that was from 2000 or 2006, or any of those other releases that weren't this one from 2005, and you said that it wouldn't stretch all the way across my screen because it was letterbox widescreen, 4:3 and all that. Well, turns out that on my TV, it shows just fine. It takes up the entire width of my widescreen television. That's awesome. That may very well be the case for you. But what that means is that either your player or your TV has a setting somewhere, or a feature somewhere, that allows it to look at a 4:3 full screen image, to recognize that there are black bars on top and bottom, that it is a letterboxed 4:3 image, and to automatically zoom in on that image. Usually, in that case, what it would do is it would zoom in and take the edges of your 4:3 image, your left and right edges, and zoom in until those are at the edges of your 16:9 high-def television, which then leaves either some or no black at the top and bottom, depending on if it's a 16:9 widescreen image or something narrower. That may be an automatic feature your player or TV has, and if so, that is fantastic. I actually kind of wish that mine had those. We got a 4K TV that I don't think does it. I haven't tried it. I know for sure that our old TV that one replaced didn't do it. My PlayStation branded 3D display doesn't do it. The only TV actually in our household that actually allows you to zoom in manually, that I know for certain, because I haven't really played around with the 4K one yet, is the one that we have in our main room, which was the smallest and the first HD TV that we ever bought. And that one you can manually zoom in. There are some players, there are some TVs that will automatically do that. That doesn't negate the fact that what you've got is a letterboxed full-screen copy of the film. What it means is that you just lucked out in that you don't have to watch it in the way that most people would have to watch it, which is 4:3 image in the center, black bars on top and bottom, and on the sides on a modern television, because your TV can zoom in, or your player can zoom in, and one of the two is doing it automatically, presumably. Take a look through your settings. Surely somewhere you'll find something that addresses that, or maybe it's in your manual. Either way, though, that doesn't change what the format is of the actual discs. It's just that you lucked out on your player or your system. Or didn't luck out. If it's completely automatic and you don't have any way to turn it off, then you'll never get to actually see what the real image looked like back when it was full screen, theoretically. And I say full screen meaning letterbox, right? 4:3 full screen image, but widescreen with the black bars on top and bottom. I'm belaboring that a little too much here. So, just wanted to address that here because it is an appropriate time to do that, with this being the big deal because it was anamorphic widescreen. But YouTube commenter, the Legend Killer 2100, pointed out something to me that had me face palming when I realized it, after the fact. The episode was done. Hell, the other episodes were done. And it's, oh, hey, by the way, I've got this, he says, or she says. But the one I've got's got a cardboard slipcover. Yes. Sure enough, this version of Spaceballs actually comes with a cardboard slipcover in its original release. So, if you are looking for that one, this, yes, I've replaced it now, this is what it would have actually looked like originally on store shelves. It is essentially the same thing on sides, back, and everything's what you would expect from the case, except, of course, for the fact that it does have two sides, two spines, whereas the case would just have the one. It does have a hole cut out here for the UPC symbol. Underneath is exactly what I showed you before, and I got this in original shrink wrap. No, there was not an insert, apparently, ever with this release. So I did want to show you here that the 2005 Collector's Edition of Spaceballs does have a cardboard slipcover if you find an early version, and it's a little bit embossed, which is kind of nice. What you'll find, and you're seeing this now a lot with Star Wars releases, so I will stop covering them this way on the show as variants. But you'll see, for instance, if I go to Target, they have the previous release of the season that just came out of Rebels, so Season 3 of Rebels, and they've got the last season of the Clone Wars, and they've got the Star Wars films. Predominantly, the ones that are still on the shelves are Rogue One and Force Awakens, right? But they've got all of them. None of them, not a one, has a cardboard slipcover on it. Every one of them, when originally released, had a cardboard slipcover on it. Again, what we tend to see is that once you have an initial launch that has cardboard slipcovers, eventually you will see stock being refilled of certain releases that don't have the slipcovers, like this one that I got originally. So just word to the wise, if you're trying to collect these things, and cardboard slipcovers actually mean something to you, as they do to me, make sure that you're looking for those early releases, either after the fact by hunting down ones that have them for sure, like I did with this one, or just getting them before that first round is out of stores and being replaced by new stock to make sure that the cardboard slipcovers are on them. So, there's that. Speaking of restocks, though, that's where the bigger issue is that ties this episode more into episode 129 than 126 of From the Star Wars Home Video Library. You may recall, we said that in 2009, we had the first release of Spaceballs on Blu-ray. And this had a nice array of special features, but they were mostly from this, right? But you at least got some special features. Yes, it was packed in with a DVD, blah, 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 but that you had your original Blu-ray, and it was the one with the faces. Yes? Yes. Then we said that for its 25th anniversary in 2012, we got this, and a couple of variants off of this, which was an update with one more bonus feature, and this was the Schwartz Ring disc. Again, it's going to be the same disc that'll be re-released in 2015, except the label will have changed. But we had kind of a weird situation happen in episode number 129, because for 2015, for its regular release, the Your Helmet is So Big edition, I pulled out this. Okay? I bought this in the weeks prior to starting to record those episodes. So I bought this at Target a good 2 years after it was originally released. Okay? So, picked this up, and I pointed out, hey, here's this new release, and hey, it's got these cool, postcards and little bumper sticker things in them. It's got a digital copy. That's awesome. But, that's interesting. The disc is the one from 2012. Shouldn't there be a new label for 2015? And then I went on to show you other variants for 2015, including that art one. And in doing so, we found, oh, hey, yeah, you're right. There is new artwork there for 2015. So why is the art in this copy, which, if you take out the little cardboard piece here, just looks like this, okay? Why is the art for this copy on the disc new, and for this one it was from 2012? What's the deal? Well, as I suspected, this is a restock, a repackage. So what has happened is the original release of this version, the Your Helmet is So Big edition, went out in 2015, and over the years, Target, where I happened to buy this, has restocked them, and as the company has restocked and sent these out, a couple of changes have happened. One of those changes is that they are now apparently, since the disc contents are the exact same thing, it's just a different label, they're apparently using old 2012 stock and 2014 stock, because that was just reissues from 2012, in these packages, of that 2015 version. So buyer beware, if you're looking for the newest label to go with the newest packaging, you may not get it in one of these blue packaged Your Helmet Is So Big editions that have been restocked since 2015. The actual original version actually has another thing in common with this one, because if we take that cardboard off, you'll notice it is a black Blu-ray case, but that restock is a blue Blu-ray case. That's another indicator of it being a restock. So as you would expect, the actual original release, which I've got my hands on, as I noted in the little subtitles of episode 129, is this one. Looks the same, okay, same insert here, as the one that's in the blue, or as the one that's got the art card thing in front of it, and so on as far as different exclusives go and whatnot. But this was the original release, in black instead of blue. Easy way to spot it. I just hadn't at the time because I just grabbed it at Target thinking, hey, surely it's the same thing. No, it really wasn't. And when you open it up, sure enough, as they say, yes, the label does match the packaging. So original release, yes, the label will match. Restock, kind of a crapshoot, apparently. It may not. This, of course, does have the digital copy code in it. It has the bumper stickers. It has the little postcards, everything we've seen before. But I did want to point out, because I bought this brand new in shrink wrap, I did want to point out what was on it, because I had somebody, I think it was Amy Bisson maybe, on one of the videos, say, you know what, if my math is right, isn't this the 30th anniversary? So shouldn't we be seeing a 30th anniversary thing for Spaceballs? Because we did see something for the 25th. Wouldn't they just milk it more for the 30th? And they haven't. But what I found interesting was, as soon as she said that, I noticed something on the shrink wrap labeling, the shrink wrap stickers, for the Your Helmet Is So Big edition. That's this. Aside from just telling you you got a digital HD copy in there through ultraviolet and whatnot, trying to get this close enough that you could see it a little bit, but you see yogurt there, and this text next to it, and what it says is 28th Anniversary Edition. Includes bumper stickers and exclusive photo cards. So yes, on an off year that wasn't an anniversary ending in 5 or 0, they actually did promote the 2015 edition, the Your Helmet Is So Big edition, as the 28th Anniversary Edition. Which is true. Wasn't 30th. After the 25th. It was the 28th anniversary back in 2015. It's just that people don't usually celebrate that. 18, sure, because that's when you become an adult. But 28th? What's all that special about 28th compared to otherwise? So, you'll see that sticker on those. I believe that sticker was actually also on my restock, I think, because I don't remember for sure, but when I went to Target just recently, here in the last few days, a lot of going to Target apparently showing up here. Go to Best Buy and other places like that too, but it just happens to be that Target's the one that tends to revolve around Spaceballs for me. But when I went and picked up this one, it may have been on there, may not, I forget. But when I went and was looking for something else, I was looking for Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them in 4K, because I'm going to be getting that Harry Potter set on November 7th. It's all in 4K. I was looking around and I saw this one on the shelf still, and sure enough, it had this sticker on it. So I'm assuming that the restocks didn't. I just don't remember that or didn't save that from when I actually bought this one. But suffice to say, the original version, black case, will have a matching label, does have the digital copy and the postcards and everything else, and it should have this on the shrink wrap. But if you were to pick up this one, all the interior contents are the same, with the exception of the fact that your disc may have the older label. It may have the newer label. Hard to say. But you will probably still have the sticker on it, on the outside, and yes, you've still got all the little physical goodies and your digital copy. That did not change. The only thing that seems to have changed is the color of the case and the likelihood of being able to have the right label on it, at least the right one relative to what's on the cover there. So, I know it's been a longer supplemental episode than usual, but a few things to address here. Hopefully now, I highly doubt it in the long run, but at least for the short term, hopefully now this is our last episode covering Spaceballs. I love Spaceballs. I really do. But I feel like somewhere out there when it came to some of these, or those DVD repackages, that someone was out there saying, you know, who was deciding about these releases? I'm sorry, sir. I'm doing my best. Who let that man determine how we were going to release those DVDs or Blu-rays? I did, sir. He's my cousin. And who are you? He's an asshole, sir. And so on. But I guess when it comes to re-releasing the same discs and whatnot over and over again for Spaceballs, somewhere at MGM, someone in a boardroom simply gets on the conference call and says, keep re-releasing them, assholes! Okay, we're done. Enough quotes. Thank you for watching. May the force be with the home video viewers. Go!